G'day, welcome to Art with Alison. First of all, noises in the background are my dogs, lots of dogs, and they're all in here snoring. Alright, so I am inspired by Fiona Art to do a bottom bottle pour of reverse flower dip. And I'm using the same little cups that Fiona uses. So now I did one not long ago, and I think the paint was too thin in consistency. So I have thickened the paints up a bit. So they're just a bit thicker. It's more like a mound on a mound rather than just a mound that disappears. So this is thicker than what I've seen Fiona do, but as the last lot I felt ended up looking way too thin, and yeah, I just thought I'd try it with it a bit thicker. So they're all just a little bit thicker, and I've decided to add in some gold. So this is Heraldo Treasure, Metallic Treasure. And also I've replaced, instead of using the Heraldo Metallic Pearl, which didn't really give me any little cells that I was hoping for, so I thought I'd try some of the Deco Art Extreme Sheen. Not sure what colour this is. I think this is pearl as well. Anyway, I already had it mixed up, but I made it a little bit more liquidy than normal, but it's still fairly thick-ish. Alright, so we'll get going. I'll start off with a little bit of the white, the metallic pearl colour. Encourage it down the sides. Don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but is there any supposed to? As in, you know, do what you want. It's your painting. Alright, so now this is cool yellow. The yellow kind of got lost last time, so I might try and just do a little bit more, maybe. But then it's thicker, so it might just work anyway. Yeah, it might not work at all being so thick. But it's a matter of experimenting, isn't it? Trying things out, seeing what works for you. Because like the paints I use are quite different to the paints that Fiona uses, and the medium that I use is quite different, and especially at the moment I'm not at all happy with the Floetrol. Like, I've been loving using Floetrol, but the Floetrol at the moment, it's just so watery. It's as thick as water, basically. It's just, it's horrible. Yeah, and it's hard to, you have to really shake it to get it to blend, otherwise it separates. It's, you know, it's very separated from clear to white, so you have to give it a really good shake. No, I'm not happy with it at the moment. I've heard that even in America they're not happy with the Floetrol, so I don't know what's going on there. I was hoping it might have been just one bad batch, but a lot of it's happening all over the world. I don't know that that orange goes so well next to the gold. We'll see what it turns out like. So that was orange, and this here, this is a mixture of warm yellow mixed with cool red and then I couldn't find my cool red to thicken it, so I thickened it with some warm red. So it's basically just a brighter orangey red. Sunset colours. I think that's enough. And now I'll add a bit more of the pearl. And now, right, so the purple, I decided, because the purple paint is fairly thin in this Araldo, so I thickened it up with some ultraviolet, still Araldo, but it was a lot thicker. I mean, I don't know whether this will work at all, being thick. Might be a disaster. But I won't know unless I try. And as I felt, the reason the last one wasn't such a success was because it's too runny, because the colours just blended a bit too much together, and that often means it's because the paint is too thin if they mix too much, whereas if they're thicker they tend to keep separate colours. Alright, we'll do another layer of that. These little teeny weeny spoons came with the cups. First I thought, well, they won't be any good for anything, but yeah. It's like that, or these monstrous great wooden spoons. And they both work fine. I think I put a little bit too much of the pearl. Next time I won't do quite such a thick layer. Actually, even having said that, I might just separate the yellow from the gold with a little bit of white. I hope you're all keeping safe. It's pretty scary what's going on in the world, really, isn't it? Most of the world is suffering badly from the coronavirus. And then there's been the riots. I mean, I'm all for the protests. But it's really sad when some people decide to take the opportunity to turn it into rioting and looting. That would make it scary for people living nearby, I expect. In Australia, it has encouraged people to take the opportunity to speak up for all the Aboriginals who have died in police custody in Australia. so sad how so much racism and it seems to be so rife from the people who are supposed to be protecting us all. So unfair. I think, you know, I'm white and I kind of take it all for granted, but when you hear what's happening to people of colour, it's just dreadful. We're all the same underneath. So I'm going to put gold here, then white. Well, so far that's looking prettier, and then the lines are more distinct, whereas the last one they were really all very blurred. So it's looking more hopeful. Now the purple mixed with the ultraviolet. It's nice to have a colour that's a contrast. I think. And you get purples in sunsets. I think I'll leave it at that. Now I'm just going to blow the middle bit, and I'll probably edit this bit out because I don't think you want to see the top of my head. Now actually I think I'll just take this out and use a fresh cup. Now to try and... It's not as easy as it looks. First we've got to centre it properly and then line it up. Okay. And now I shall gee, there's a loud snorer, isn't there? Ah, these dogs. Oh, this is looking quite pretty, isn't it? Oh yeah, look how pretty that is. Alright, so I might, if I line that up properly, I haven't, have I? I've done it the wrong way around. Lucky I noticed, or it would have just been continuing on. All right. So I might this time start with purple. Shall I? Yeah, just a little bit. Make sure it's fairly evenly distributed. Seems I'm not using so much. Alright, so now I'll use the pearl. Not so much this time. Just want to make sure it goes down there though. The yellow, cool yellow. I'll use a bit more yellow. A tad bit more. Tiny bit of pearl, and then gold. Just do a little bit of white here. I've been told by quite a few people that they like to see how this, how I do my pours in real time, which is why I'm doing this and it's taking so long. But yeah, if you don't like it, then I guess you're not still here. You would have whizzed ahead, and that's perfectly fine. But some people want to see it, so. Alright, so I might just finish with some yellow and then gold after this. Alright, so again I'm just going to blow in the middle and I'll edit this bit out because I'm sure you don't want to see the back of my head. Alright, now to try and take this off. Oh. There we are. Now remembering to wipe your skewer between each one, otherwise you'll end up with all this colour in the black. Didn't go down the middle of that one, did I? Properly. Yeah, some of them are a bit skewy iffy. Oh, it's looking quite pretty, isn't it? We shall see how it turns out. Alright, I'll just spray a paper towel. I didn't have any strong enough serviettes for this, so I'm just going to use an ordinary paper towel. Lightly spray it with water, and I'll fold it in half so that I can, it's a loud snore, so I can see where the middle is. Try and lie it down flat. And very lightly tap it. I think it hardly needs it because I think you can see it's already come through the paper towel. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. So now difficulty is to try and do this without ruining it. Alright, so I'm going to try and get it as even as possible and have the very middle being the last thing that gets lifted up. Oh, it's gone so soft and gooey. It's hard to pick it up. I'm supposed to pick up this corner here, but right. Give that a moment to develop. Give it a torch. Well, I don't know how Fiona gets hers to turn out so beautifully. Oh dear. And it's quite pretty, but I might spin it, get it to move out a bit. Let's grab the spinner. It's just an ordinary cake spinner. A cake turner or something. Right. Trying to decide whether to fill in the black or not. Probably won't need to because it should just spread out, shouldn't it, as it spins. Less black all over me. I might just get this here to barricade myself. Alright, let's give it a spin. Very loud snoring dogs. I am sorry about that, but I'm not going to kick him outside. It's middle of the night. I think I will fill that in with some black now. I think I'll leave it there because it'd be nice to have a little, still some of that black negative space around the edges, the corners rather. Yeah, I think that's quite pretty. Not nearly as good as Fiona's, but yeah, it's still quite pretty. Practice, practice, practice. That's all we have to do. Practice, practice. Work out. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks. People think, oh yeah, you know, easy peasy, but it's not. And you've got to find out what your paints do. Because the paints in different countries vary. And then the medium that you're using with your paints has its own effects on the outcome. So yes, just experiment, experiment until you find what works for you. Gee, that's a very loud snorer. Alright, now it's always important to scrape the base of your canvas so that it doesn't keep coming off, because what happens is the weight, as it's coming off, it pulls it down and you can end up losing your composition if it pulls it down too much. So you just want to scrape the bottoms off and do that a few times until it's not coming off anymore, because once is not enough, because it does keep coming over the edges for a while. So you might notice I just did the coloured bits then, and now I'm going to do the black bits, because sometimes you end up with the colour on your palette knife or whatever you're using, and then you go on a solid colour, you can end up with it showing just near the base of the canvas, the colour, which is a pain. You have to go back later and fix it up. Right, well there we are. I'll take you in for a close-up in just a minute. Okay, so here it is. You in for some close-ups. Oh, there's some pretty parts to it. I think the colours look nice. The yellow's more yellow. It's coming up more green in the viewfinder, but it's actually more yellow, not so green. Thankfully. Sorry that I can't show you the proper colours. And here they are side by side. I actually think I prefer the first one. I'm not sure, actually. Tell me what you think. Do you prefer the first one? The second one. The first one's the one on the left. The second one's the one on the right. The one on the left was done with more liquidy paints. The one on the right, they were thicker. Let me know what you think. Okay. Now over 600 subscribers, so for me that's exciting. So thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. If you haven't already, please do, it's free. And it does help me on my art journey. Alright, thanks again for watching. Take care. Catch you again soon. Alright, bye for now.